Most games have right or wrong answers, but this is the only game that lets you say anything. Available at the store near you. Hello, Alice. Let's give a big thank you to Say Anything, proud sponsor of the Eli and Alice blog. It is Thursday, February 12th. I almost said September. I don't know why. It's a long way off. And this is the third installment, my second installment. And our big mystery from last week, what is that? Let's take a closer look. If you guessed microwave, you are right, and hi! You can see me in the reflection. And it is attached to a refrigerator freezer. This is actually a pretty neat device. If I want a fridge and microwave in my room, I have to get this kind. Because how it works, whoops, just kicked our sponsor, is when I am cooking something in the microwave, the fridge and freezer momentarily shuts off, and that saves on power, so the university's electric bill isn't $5,873,000,000. Million billion, is that a number? I think that's the amount of our next bailout. What? Anyway, what's going on in my life? I couldn't find a picture of my little cousins, but I have it now. The older one, this guy is just turned 6, and the younger one is 18 months. They are both adorable, and they are both so brilliant. The older one is in a special advanced math class on Wednesdays, where he is the youngest one in the class. Most of the people in the class are about 11 or 12, so almost twice his age. He's being homeschooled, so right now he's in kindergarten, and he's already adding, subtracting, multiplying, when usually in kindergarten you just are still working on how to count to 10. So he is just so brilliant. I'm so proud of him. As you know, last semester I was in a situation comedy class, and one of the assignments we had was to do a monologue. So I thought I would perform that monologue for you, since you didn't get to see it since you weren't here. Well, as many of you know, I'm an education major, and one of my favorite parts about being in the classroom is seeing the students' lack of knowledge. And not the kind of knowledge that you teach in the classroom, but more the things that you just learn as you get older. Because they're young and they don't fully understand how everything works. Like this one time I was in the classroom and talking to my cooperating teacher, and I mentioned to her how it's still weird hearing people call me Mr. O or Mr. Overlander, because I start looking around for my dad. And one of the kids overheard me, dropped his pencil, stared at me in wonder. Your father's still alive? Because to him, I'm a grown-up, so I'm 585 years old, so my dad has to be 8,017,000, so he doesn't even know how someone that old can even still be alive. And another time I was teaching a unit on multiplication, and the book that they have only teaches one way to do multiplication. And I know a few different ways, and you need to teach kids different ways to solve the same problem, but there are different methods, because different methods work differently for different people. And I taught them this method called lattice multiplication, and how you do that is, it's a multiplication where you just multiply single digits by single digits, and you place them in the boxes, and the way it lines up, it adds the proper amount of zeros. And it's really cool. Try and show it to you sometime. I'm not sure how I can do that, holding the camera, and I'll figure out a way for next time maybe. And the kids thought it was really cool, and since it's not in their book, I must have invented it myself. And they said, Mr. O, how'd you come up with this? And I told them, well, I learned this method back when I was in school. And they couldn't believe I still remembered something from the prehistoric times when I was in 3rd grade. But my favorite story happened when I was in a 1st grade classroom. This girl this little girl, 6 years old, had the hugest crush on me. And I was playing the game one time, and she came over to me, looked up at me with her little doe eyes, and said, "You're hot, Mr. O." And I was just staring, trying to figure out what to say, knowing one wrong syllable, and cause the pedophile police to leap out of the closet, have me arrested, thrown in jail, never being able to teach ever again, never being able to get any job. And then she continued by saying, "And I'm hot too." At this point I was wondering, now why can't girls about 14 years older have the same thoughts she's having, so everything could be nice and legal? And then she finishes off, bringing me back to reality and able to breathe again. But soon I can go home and cool off. Of course. It's August. It's about 95 degrees outside. It's very hot. She was talking temperature. But, I mean, love, right? What would life be like without love in it? Guess it'd kind of be like my life. But my life really does read like a novel. My love life reads like a novel, off quiet on the Western Front. But I'm single for now, which is cool. I'm just waiting for the right girl to come along, one who says yes. But in case you know anybody, my name is Eli. I enjoy long walks on the beach. I'm kind, considerate, handsome, charming, funny, creative, helpful, smart, but above everything else, I am modest. And that was pretty much the time limit I had. And I'm running close to the time limit for YouTube videos. So I'm going to say, so long, Alice, I love you, and I look forward to seeing your video on Sunday. Mwah!